Mike Jarek, Mike Greenidge, Bill Anderson, two mics and a bill. All right, guys, two mics and a bill. We continue to do this. We missed you, man.
Oh, did you really?
We missed you.
Thank you,
man. Yeah,
I would have done it from Turks and Caicos if
we
you
thought
just
about
asked
it.
me. Sure.
We asked.
Yeah.
We were going to put you in this monitor right here.
Not going to happen. Hi, Bill. Hi, Mike.
What's happening, Mike?
Good to see you. All right, jumping into all the issues that we focus on. We're starting with a little bit of controversy this week.
I like it.
Yeah, right?
Why doesn't like controversy,
Okay.
right?
So there is apparently a new A-team covering the NBA on national broadcast.
Oh, I heard about this. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And one of the people is longtime sports journalist Doris Burke.
Sure.
Been
Okay.
promoted to the A-team. This controversial, fired by a lot of different people, sports figure Jason Whitlock
Oh, boy.
came out and said that she is not qualified to have the job. But the reasoning behind it is, one, she has no NBA playing experience. She did play in college. And two, he said that a woman is not going to be able to stand up to these athletes when they push back.
Well, I don't think he knows Doris Burke very well then, because she's tough. She's a really strong broadcaster and analyst. I think she could stand up to anybody.
Yeah,
I'm going to agree with you as well, man.
Yeah.
I think, and I think just women in general, man, for women to advance, they fight every day.
Yeah.
Right? And so to be put in a position and then to say, well, I don't think she'd be able to stand up to these guys. Dude, women are standing up to men on a daily basis trying to get advancements.
Right.
Right? So if there's anybody in the game strong enough to handle criticism and attacks and so forth, I think it would be a woman, man. I think a lot of these dudes are way more sensitive.
Well, and this particular person
Bing.
Got fired
Right.
from their job covering the sport. So there may be some
Right.
bitterness.
Well, Jason is also a flamethrower.
Right.
He likes to throw kerosene on
Right.
almost any topic.
And it sounds like he might be throwing it on this one just because, it's controversy. Like, let me
back in time, isn't it though? I thought we had gotten finished
I
and
thought so,
gotten
too.
past the whole women can't cover men's
We're
sports.
never
They're
gonna
doing
get
it
past
now
that.
as
You know,
well.
in Philadelphia, we've had the same thing over the last year with Kate Scott
Right.
taking over for Mark Zumoff.
Right.
She's
A lot of people really don't like her broadcast style. I happen to be a fan of
like
hers. So I don't think they've missed a beat on the Sixers coverage.
Me either, but I think it is an adjustment process because you're used to hearing male voices.
True.
And then when you hear a female voice, whether she's, talented and knowledgeable on a topic, when you're just used to hearing that male voice.
I don't know how they do it because they get constant criticism.
Right.
And so does our friend Kate Scott.
Yes.
You better have some thick skin, and apparently they do.
In
They
sports
do.
passionate places.
Right.
Also.
Oh, my
What
God.
about the argument that you never played, so you don't have a full?
Well-
because that argument has been going on for both men and women for years.
That's a tough one because I think most basketball analysts, males, have played at a high level.
But does it take playing the game to be able to analyze the game?
I feel like people have been saying that forever,
Right.
and they say it to
And I don't
sports
know.
journalists, they say it to talk show
Yeah.
hosts. You don't know anything. But we are moving into a time where a lot of these athletes are getting the high-profile
Right.
positions. And listen, they add an insight, but I don't know that you have to have played.
there are a lot of coaches that are analysts too who were not really very
Who are
good on
not-
the court.
That's what I'm saying, right?
Jeff
Right, that's what
Van
I'm saying.
Gundy, I
So
think-
there's people who are analyzing the game
Yeah,
who are even if they played, they weren't very good.
We rolled through that first topic. Take
What
a
else
break.
you got?
Yep.
I got more
Okay.
stuff. We got to take a break, man.
Well,
All right,
I
I
need a
mean, if
break.
you gotta
You
stop,
gotta
stop.
pay for this.
Yeah, I mean,
Let's take
I
a
thought
quick
Mike
break.
was paying for it.
Surprised I'm not.
All right, welcome back. You guys are both parents.
Yes, I have
Yes.
2 daughters.
Same.
Yep.
You ever take money from your kids?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes?
All the
Now,
time.
it was when I was tapped out. I happened to have no money in my pockets or in the house. I would go into the equivalent of a piggy bank. I know where their money was, and I would take the money, but I would try to put it back in there.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
try.
Try. Yeah, it's effort.
All right, so there's a study that came out.
I'm not.
It's
no.
the effort that counts. It's not
We're
necessarily.
not
proud of it.
Right. It's nothing I talk about very often. But,
Yeah.
you know.
1 in 3 parents admitted that they have taken money from their children's savings account, college fund, whatever, and did not necessarily put it back. They were just like, yo, I was tapped out. I needed it. Is that wrong?
Look, no, it's not wrong,
No.
man. Like, you put the money in there, so it's your money, right? So how am I wrong for going to get it? I'd be wrong for letting you go hungry, wouldn't I? What if I said, look, man, you got
Valid.
50 grand sitting in your savings account and I have nothing.
Yeah.
So there's no food on the table.
I would agree with that. Probably the majority of the money in their savings account came from us.
Right,
100%.
right.
But other times, the children have gone out and gotten a job and they
And
kept,
earn their own money. and
that
that's-
would be tougher.
That would be, but you probably wouldn't have access to those funds anyway.
No.
Right?
I'm going through this now. So I have a new niece. as
Right.
you guys
She's
all
adorable, by the
know.
way.
Love her. And and love the parents. And
Right.
My little sister, we're cool.
Yeah.
But I set up this education account. And I struggled with who I provide access to the account because I'm, for the most part, funding it. And I don't want anybody to go back and like, it's a little tight this month.
Boy, you are a nice
Right.
uncle.
You're first of all, one,
Wow.
great uncle.
Yes,
Second,
where were you when I was a kid?
second of all, you better be the only one with access to that account.
Right now,
Maybe-
I am.
and leave your brother as a beneficiary. Just in case.
This is your brother's
My sister's
child. Who? So what'd you decide?
So right now,
It's you?
I funded it. I'm the only one who has access to it, and the baby is the beneficiary
Okay.
at some point.
If things get on the skids here for you financially, would you dip in there?
I would hope not. Now, in this particular case, I guess I could. It was set up as an education fund.
And your niece,
She's not
I mean, your
supposed to
sister
take
knows
it.
about it?
But
She's aware that it exists.
Okay.
She's not aware of what's in it. She's not aware of how
listen,
to access it.
this is, you could talk like this because you haven't had children.
Right.
And when you were broke, there were no mouths to feed.
And I'm currently employed.
Right.
Right.
Currently
Be broke with a
employed.
mouth to feed and see if you don't go touch that education fund.
And by the way, when she hits 18, would this mostly be for college funds?
Yes.
Right?
Any kind of education. So she
Yes.
could use it for school before college.
If
but
it
it's gonna be
compounds
education.
and all that, do you know how much it might be at
She's gonna
18?
be all right.
5 figures or,
Oh, yeah, it should definitely be 5 figures. Like she may
but
be
it might be
pushing 6.
6 figures.
Because she's 7 months old.
I know,
so if
man.
I started it with a little investment, and then I'm putting something deducted from my check
What if she doesn't need it?
every month.
And it's just sitting there.
Yeah,
and your
what
sister's
if
making money.
and not to we don't want to put
Then
bad
it's
karma
mine.
in the air, but like what if she's like what if she becomes a loser, right? And you got all this money and she just
Then she gonna need the money.
Oh, yeah.
right. It's just
Like you have to do something.
Well, not everybody has to go to college anymore. A lot
But
of-
you
Right,
can pay for
right.
anything education based. So it could be trade school, it could
Gotcha.
be training programs, it could be something. It's not going to be enough money so she doesn't have to work.
Right.
So she
well.
gonna
Let me
need to
tell
do
you, from
something.
somebody who's paying for college right now, smart play.
Yeah.
That's what
Because
they
I
told me.
sure
Get
should have
started
done
very
it.
early.
I
Mike has told
started
me about
and
how
took
much-
it in and out, but
How much money it costs to go to these schools now. I was stunned when you told me what
Unreal.
you pay.
unreal the amount of money it costs.
Yeah.
And
It's a
paying
lot.
it out of pocket, well, dude, I'm gonna be broke forever.
Well, get on Twitter. What are we calling it now? X? Twitter is
X.
now X.
Yeah.
So
I guess.
X's and let us know, have you ever stolen from
It's not
your
your
children?
money. It's not stealing.
And
Well, yeah,
yeah,
If you ever,
right.
If you ever liberated the money and
Freed
so that it
freed
could
up
be
your
better
child's
used.
savings account,
Yeah.
right?
When we come back, we're going to the exact opposite end of the spectrum. There's some controversy going on with Beyonce
Oh,
and
yeah.
the Beehive because her children clearly not struggling.
No.
And some pictures surface that some say are just flaunting.
Is this
that
about the
money.
shoes?
It's about the shoes.
It's all about shoes.
The conversations during the breaks. Y'all,
Right, the commercial breaks will be its own show.
interesting, right? Our conversations evolved into a show, and now the commercial breaks are going to evolve into the next half an
Next
hour.
Right.
It's got to be the shoes. All right. So Beyonce, Jay-Z, clearly not broke.
Billionaires.
Not even
Or,
close.
like billionaires.
Yes.
So there was a picture. They have twins, young twins, that they pretty much keep out of the spotlight. So Blue Ivy's background dancer and all that.
Right.
But they have 6-year-old twins that you don't see very much.
Right.
of. So there was a picture of the little girl, 6 years old, that came out, and she was wearing Dior sneakers that are between $1,200 and $1,600. social media, the comments, came out and said that, look, you know they can afford it, but is it obnoxious for a 6-year-old to be out there rocking $1,500?
This is a tough one for me. I think it is obnoxious, but they have the money to do it. It's like $25 and for
That's
them.
what I'm saying. Like, is it? Like, I don't think it's obnoxious. I think it's obnoxious for people to make an issue out of it.
Is it flaunting though? Your wealth?
Well, now
No.
she didn't, like, the picture was just a picture that was taken. It's actually them and Madonna's kids. Like, they didn't put it out and say, look at my, like, they just took a picture.
But they knew pictures would be taken.
So
maybe.
For instance, when wasn't it just last week, Khaled put out a video of his kid's sneaker closet, and it was like 400 pair of sneakers in this closet, whatever it was. Like, the kid had 3 sneaker closets. That's flaunting, right?
Okay.
You show me, like, Beyonce's kid is hanging out at a concert, and I wouldn't have even known they were $1,600 sneakers if you didn't tell me they were $1,600 sneakers, first off. Second of all, they're billionaires, B. Like,
So they could very honest. I think it is a fair assumption that they just like the sneakers.
Right.
Or some designer liked the
right,
sneakers.
my
So-
6-year-old
and just
sneaker,
send them to them.
my 6-year-old kid wore $60 Adidas. I could have put her in $12 Chucks.
Yeah.
But I could afford the $60 Adidas, right? So that's what I put her in. This is
So your barometer is show one pair at a time,
one pair at a time.
not 500 pair.
Yeah, not 3 closets worth of sneakers. You don't want to do that for your
There's
6-year-old.
levels to flaunting.
Right, that's flaunting.
In all
But your
of
kid
this.
just out hanging out and she happens to. You want your kid to look nice when you're in the street,
I'm
right?
so old school and old that I just think that like there's 95% chance the kid's going to turn out weird and need therapy because
That has nothing to do with the
too
sneakers,
much,
though, does it?
Too much too soon.
Right.
But that's
See, and
bound to
where
happen
I am
anyway,
with
right?
this.
I
But that's where
probably-
I am with this. It's hard because I agree with that concept, but I also recognize that I have no idea what it means to live a billionaire life.
Right.
You know, and so I'm looking at it through the lens of what are your peers going to think, or you're in school, or the kids who don't have it, but their peers might all have them.
Or
Like, they
what if-
might all
I
live
bet
like
they- I
that's
bet
Right.
they do.
normal
And what
for
if the
them.
picture came out, Jay-Z and Beyonce's dressed to the nines? You know what I mean? Walking around with a $200,000 outfit on, and their kid is in
Tom McCann shoes.
Right. So now all of a sudden they're getting judged for the way that they look and what they're putting their kids
Yeah,
in.
they can't win. Really.
It's an interesting point. Yeah. And I didn't know. Like, my initial reaction was, why's
By the way,
6-year-old
fellas,
need that?
if you were billionaires, like if you won the Mega Millions or the Powerball, how elaborate would you go with your lifestyle? Would you go big, like yachts and big mansions and stuff?
Not at this point in my life. I would do those things, but I wouldn't own those things. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But not at this point. When I was giving it to me 25 years ago, if I'd have come up like a rapper,
Right.
you know?
Excess.
Right.
Yeah,
You know, when
DJ Khaled.
you're so used to when you don't have,
You want all those
you
things.
want all
The
those
things that
things,
you have
right? But now when you get to a certain age, it's just like you realize that those things don't have that much value to you anymore. And you want the experiences, but
I
you
can
don't
see
need to
you
own them.
balling out, though.
Dude, I would definitely black all
You had
the way out.
parties and
Yeah.
whatnot.
All
you
you
just
would
don't want to
think.
have to maintain it.
Yeah. I'd have like one little apartment, but we would be off the chain
You'd
with the
be
things we did.
Saint-Tropez one weekend.
God, dude, we'd never sit still, man.
Bora Bora.
We talked about that. How do you make that money? So transition. See what I did there?
Yeah, it was nice.
Segue.
Smooth.
We were
Must be a
talking
professional.
about Beyonce, Jay-Z. More controversy, but this one's different because she's doing it. You went to? Did you go to the Beyonce
Yeah, I went to
tour?
Beyonce in Philly.
Amazing. Everybody, I didn't go. but
Great
everybody
show.
I didn't
was
go
talking
either, but I
about
heard it was like-
But apparently, my seats were as good as the seats that they're selling to some people.
Oh,
in
come on,
Europe.
really?
Because I didn't go. I saw your Instagram page and got
Yeah.
to listen to some of the music. There's pushback because on the Europe leg of this tour, they're selling what they're calling listen-only seats that are about, they're $150, $155, and you can't see the stage.
You can't see the stage
No, it's not like
No.
obstructed view. You can't see
can't
the
see the
stage.
stage.
or the giant monitors.
You're behind those.
Wow.
You
So
just
you're
in the building.
You can hear the live
You
performance.
just can't see
I'd imagine
anything.
you could like
You can probably walk around the concourse
right,
or
and
something.
Stand in the
Well,
concourse.
you'd still feel the energy of the arena.
Right.
I think I might. No, I don't.
Dude,
know.
for $150, I would have gone in.
just
I
to be
think
in
I
the
would.
building.
Yeah, because I just would have got out of my seat and walked around.
Is that how much they're going for?
$150.
Yeah, for $150.
Yeah.
It was those tickets was like $500 a pop minimum.
I think you're right. To feel the energy of the crowd,
Right.
and hear the music, it's really
look,
loud.
I feel like if you're in the building, you can hustle your way to a space where you can get a glimpse of the show.
Yeah.
That's a tight
I
arena.
understand that, but like you can go stand in an aisle someplace until security tells you to move. You can go to the concession stand and catch a view. Or something
done
like
this
that.
a lot.
Like you just got to get in the building.
wander.
That's right.
You just gotta
So
get
the
in
people who buy the
building.
standing room only seats, and then you see that they're
Or
like
you go
courtside or
sit in
whatever.
somebody else's seat till they show up, and then you just
Oh,
keep
yeah.
bouncing around.
like, oh, my bad.
Oh, my bad. I didn't realize this was in my seat.
You look at fake stubs. Oh, you're right.
Right, like dude.
Your stub says in big bold letters, "Listen only seat." Like there's no confusion. Like nobody's gonna go. There's nowhere on here does it say front row.
And look, she's got to pay for $1,600 sneakers for a kid.
Yeah.
Where you think that money
That's
come
right.
from?
Fair enough. So we're okay with this.
Hey,
I wouldn't do it, but you're
right.
okay with it.
If you can sell it and they'll buy it,
Oh, right. You have the right to say no. I
right?
don't want that.
You can say no.
Yeah.
I feel like depending on the stadium, you probably could hear that in the parking lot.
At the
Open
link,
air
you could hear it in the
stadium.
parking lot, and you could kind of see if you're in that crevice at the four corners of the link. You could see the gigantic monitors.
And parking
So-
there is 50.
Right.
There you go. You got to
listen
There
only
you go.
seats.
There you
winning.
go.
50
You
bucks.
up.
All right, Beyonce's winning. Baby's got $1,500 seats. Listen only.
Please.
Got to
Be
get
right
it
back.
together.
All right, guys. So we talked Beyonce and her huge tour selling out everywhere. There's one tour that may be outdoing it because the Taylor Swift tour is setting records. So far, earned $1 billion for this tour. I know, right? $1 billion
That's a lot of
for
bread.
one tour. So she's doing what some people would say is extravagant. Others are saying, good for you. That's what you're supposed to do. She's taking care of her people to the tune of $55 million in bonuses.
Let's see. $1 billion is 1,000 millions.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
55 million.
So she
Right,
gave
so
her
it's like a
55 of the 1,000s.
It's like a
So I
half
got-
percent.
So I got
Not even-
$1,000.
it's not
I give
even
you
a half
55
percent.
of them.
Man, that's pretty good.
Gave away 55. Now that's not to the people
Who got the money?
So 55 million split between the tour bus drivers, the truck drivers, backup dancers, food service people, like the people who you traditionally
Stage crew,
right,
that kind of stuff.
The people who traditionally get paid but don't share in that
Dude.
kind of.
And they
way.
probably get paid well. So she did this out of the kindness of her heart.
But I love
But
this.
what's well? I mean, you're talking about it, and God bless union laborers.
Right.
I ain't mad at you, but a union laborer building that stage, doing well, might be $50 an hour.
right.
Right.
Now, she gave the truck drivers $100,000 bonuses.
Dude,
each.
I
What?
love this. I love this, man,
1,000.
because, these cats are, she's a rock star, right? We're not going to question that. But she can't do what she does without the support of
Right.
this team, right? And that's such a beautiful way to show appreciation for these people who are humping it every day, city
Hard
after
work.
city, you know what I mean, on the road, making sure everything gets there, making sure everything works so you can get up there and do your thing and make $1 billion on this tour. And maybe I'm bringing in $150,000 for the year.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm away from my family and I'm away, you know what I'm saying?
Which
So
for us normal people, that's good money for an annual salary, but not when you're sitting next to somebody.
I wonder what
making
happened in
$1 billion.
the.
how you think I feel sitting next to this guy?
Oh, please. So let's go back to the boardroom where she had to make a decision with her team. How much do we divvy up per person? And it could have been $25,000,
Right.
$50,000. They went to $100,000.
100 grand.
Well, and apparently that's
That's nice.
like a
Yeah.
starting, like 100. Everybody didn't get the same.
Oh.
Because some of the truck drivers, tour bus operators were like one-offs.
Yeah.
So they just would drive and deliver. They got $100,000. Like people who were
Like committed to the
regular
tour.
stage crew, background dancers.
Right.
At least according to reports, the numbers went up from there.
Oh, man.
Right. And again, but it's still back to that, almost like back to the $1,500 sneakers, right? She's got so much
I know. Yeah.
that to give away $55 million off this tour, she probably didn't even feel that.
No,
she
she
didn't
definitely
feel it.
didn't.
You know what I'm saying? So it was probably not even a decision. Like it wasn't even a tough decision for her
But you know
problem.
what's interesting? We'll sit there and say that, and I agree. Like, good for her for doing that. But there's a whole lot of people, they may not make $1 billion, but they make a whole lot, who it wouldn't be a tough decision to break off the people who are helping you out, and they don't. You know, so
all right,
she's
applaud
setting
her
an
for
example,
doing
right?
the
Hopefully,
right
she's setting an
It's
example.
a great example. And as we wrap things up this time, let's each look into our cameras. Okay?
All right.
This
I don't
is
know which camera's mine. Actually.
which is
So,
yours.
is it the black one?
It's whatever one you're
I
looking
think
at right
it's,
now.
yeah, it's the dark one, I believe. Is
All
yours.
right.
Anyway,
All right, I'll look at this one right here. What am I doing?
we're going to speak out now to Dennis Bianchi,
Bet.
the general manager
Yes.
of our Fox station, and also Jim Driscoll.
Both of them.
Let's include Marianne Vaughn in that as well, assistant
Our
news
whole
director.
management team.
How many shows are we doing now? We do Good Day Philadelphia.
That's
we do
one.
this podcast.
That's
we do the
two.
215.
That's three.
We do the
Pulse.
remix show
That's
the
4.
Pulse.
5.
Yeah, do specials.
6.
For a flat salary. Come on.
Bonus season might be in the neighborhood.
Bonus season is here. Do us a Swifty. What do you say? Now, it's your discretion how high you want to go, but
right.
$100,000 seems right.
example
to
has
me.
been set.
Seems reasonable.
Right.
100 grand is reasonable.
I like that.
Get back to us by tomorrow.
You'll know where to find us.
Yeah.
And if
We'll be
you-
doing another show.
If you don't see another episode of Two Mics and a Bill, now you know why.
It's been good knowing you.
Have a good one.